Well, I've been recording, but this is actually take 2 anyway.
Alright, yeah. Because you messed up
through the magic of video editing.
You messed up the first one.
Nobody will know.
No, I'm telling everyone right now, you messed up the first recording of the first podcast of ever.
I didn't mess it up. Audacity messed it up.
Which is the program that you have. So, you see...
I didn't make the program.
Tangentially, it's your fault. Tangentially is a word.
I don't even know what that means.
It means...
I don't know.
I
don't even know.
No, it's in the...
I don't know, like people don't know who we are.
It's in the dictionary. Alright, well look, I'm SamusFan117.
And I am Little Ghost, also known as Trisha Helfer.
And you are not Trisha Helfer. If you were, then I would hang out with you a lot more.
If I were, I would not be here right now.
Yeah, you would.
I would be doing something far more interesting.
Yeah, you'd be off filming, like, Halo 3 ODST 2 or something.
Filming that? They filmed that?
Yeah, they filmed it. You ever wonder why it looks so good? Why Nathan Fillion's character always looks so much like Nathan Fillion?
That's because Nathan Fillion is a character. He's not a real person. He is a creature that was cloned in a genetic facility by...
No. He is
That makes no sense whatsoever.
He's a creature from the underworld that is summoned by Joss Whedon. We've discussed this.
That makes sense. Yes, we have actually.
Yeah.
Somehow he's escaped though because he was not in Avengers, so therefore Joss Whedon no longer has control over it.
He wasn't in Cabin in the Woods either. But he's mainly in the TV shows. He's in every single TV show that Joss Whedon has ever done.
But has Joss Whedon done any writing for Castle?
No, he has not. However, they asked Joss Whedon permission to use Nathan Fillion, and Joss Whedon said, "Well, okay," and he was like, "There you go." But
he still has it like a bomb somewhere surgically implanted in Nathan Fillion's heart.
Actually, you know what? That makes sense. They said to Joss Whedon, "Hey, can we use Nathan?"
It does.
Hang on, because ABC is owned by Disney. Disney said, "Hey, Joss, can we use Nathan Fillion for this character, Richard Castle, in a new TV show?" He said, "Okay, sure, but you guys have to let me do the Avengers movie." And they were like, "Oh, Joss, you crazy guy. Okay." And that's what they did.
You clever. You're just so intelligent.
Yeah, I know. I made Firefly. Yeah. Something like that.
People loved it, except for critics.
Yes. Well, actually...
But then again, critics aren't people.
No, they aren't. Actually, a good chunk of critics actually like Firefly. It's just not enough people watched it is the problem.
Too many people pirated it.
That's another thing, yeah. Serenity is the highest illegally downloaded HD before... Well, it was before Dark Knight.
And then Fast 5 broke the record overnight.
Oh, really? Oh.
Yeah.
Well...
I don't think anybody has ever paid any money to the actual creators of Fast 5 just because so many people pirated that movie.
You know, I'm willing to bet that they didn't even put money into that movie. They just asked Vin Diesel and Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson to hang out together for a day, and they recorded it, and that was the movie Fast 5.
How I picture it is one day, just randomly, The Rock and Vin Diesel were just like shopping in the same grocery store, totally unplanned, and they just saw each other at the opposite ends of the aisle, and somebody had a camera and filmed what went down.
And The Rock said, "Hey, we should make a movie together." And Vin Diesel said, "Yes, but not today." That's how that went down. It was funny because that's the line. That's the line in the trailer that they never put into the movie.
There's a lot of movies like that.
It's really disappointing. There's this great line where just Vin Diesel's just leaning up against a post, and it's like telling them, "One of these days they're going to catch us, but not today." It's really funny.
Does he actually go?
He goes for about 2 seconds, which is a good 2 seconds longer than anyone should have to. It's really funny. His voice just makes that awesome. Like how his voice makes Riddick awesome.
What about Doom? Did his voice make Doom awesome?
That's Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
Oh, well, that was The Rock. That was not. I got the
Yeah,
two of them mixed up. To be fair, it's very easy to do.
Nope, until they're side by side. Then you realize that The Rock is way bigger than Vin is. But no, I haven't
really?
actually. Yeah, he has wrestler.
Well, he was
that's
a wrestler.
the thing.
So, yeah.
Vin is a lot more lithe and sinewy. So I would guess that they're about equally as strong. The Rock's just buffer, just has more showy muscles.
Because he was a wrestler. If anybody should play the comic Bane, I mean, Tom Hardy did a pretty good job as whatever Bane he was playing. It wasn't the comic Bane.
It was pretty
Bane.
close, yeah.
But if anybody should play the comic Bane, it's one of those two.
Yeah, definitely. I would actually Dwayne The Rock Johnson would be really good for Bane.
I would think they both would, but yeah, the Rock would be pretty good.
Well, yeah, but Bane is not Caucasian, and neither is The Rock, so that's why I'm going for.
Vin Diesel pretends to be not Caucasian.
He's actually pretty good at. He could be Hispanic because, as Riddick, he cuts people.
Gosh, please let's not make my editing job too hard.
We'll talk about that one later. See what we do with that. Oh boy. Anyways, we were saying something. I was going to talk about the Riddick game. Then we were talking about something.
We're talking about how incredibly racist you are.
I'm not that racist.
Oh.
But generally.
Only when it's funny.
Exactly. Yeah, so the Chronicle of Riddick, the movie, which people may know as the one that came after Pitch Black.
Pitch Black was the good one.
It's technically the third movie.
Yeah, I've seen all three. Then there was the bad cartoon that didn't make any sense.
Yep, there was a cartoon, which leads up to the third one, which is PG-13 because they just say, hey, let's try to pull in more people.
They're basically trying to actually make like a full like series, like Star Wars or Star Trek.
Yeah.
They're trying to,
Yeah.
They failed miserably.
That did not work. That's why they're making a new one.
Oh, really? Are they remaking it?
Yeah,
or is it going to be...
no, it's just called Riddick. I'm not sure what it's about. I just know that they're working.
Well, if it's not the kind of alien science fiction horror, then I am disappointed.
Yeah, because Pitch Black was amazing.
Pitch Black is pretty good.
But
I think the only other movie to do that style better than Pitch Black, honestly, is the people who invented that style, Alien.
Oh, yeah. Ridley Scott.
And I'm going to get killed in the comments because everybody's going, oh, it was 2000 Space Odyssey. Whatever. I don't care.
Nobody cares about 2001 A Space... No, sorry, that's wrong. There's lots of people who care about 2001 A Space Odyssey. I do not.
We just don't. Exactly.
I was not as impressed. Probably because I was not around when it was first made. I saw it when I was about 13 or 14. Actually, I bought it when I was about 13 or 14 because it was so hugely popular. I decided, you know what, I might as well just see this movie because I'm a big movie buff. And it just kind of disappointed me.
Well, yeah, it's kind of like...
The book's better, not by a lot.
Is it? I've never read the book, but it's always just kind of seems...
The book explains it.
It seems like the movie Citizen Kane, kind of, to me, where it's like... It seems like a mediocre, if not bad, movie nowadays, but we don't have the perspective of a world without Citizen Kane or a world without 2001: Space Odyssey.
Yeah, exactly. 2001 did a lot of things for filmmaking, for computer effects and just basic special effects.
Mm-hmm.
That changed a lot of filmmaking. However, they did not last as long as something as powerful as Star Wars
or Star Trek, yeah,
which was far more even Star Trek, yeah.
Star Trek doesn't have as much as Star Wars has. I mean, they invented some stuff in Star Wars that they used right up to the Matrix.
Exactly. The only thing I would say about 2001: A Space Odyssey is that it has a fantastic theatrical score, which is very powerful and has certainly lasted for decades.
It's iconic.
That's
hugely iconic.
Yeah, that's it, and something the last 50 years is usually pretty difficult to do. I can't even think of anything outside of I don't know.
Ben-Hur. That's got a pretty famous soundtrack.
Ben-Hur. Wizard of Oz, actually.
Yeah, Wizard of Oz. That one song from Casablanca.
It's hard to get a really popular movie music that's not a musical before the 60s.
So, to move from film nerd to game nerd, what do you think of FTL, Faster Than Light?
I don't think I've actually played FTL.
I haven't either. I'm just
really
debating on whether or not to buy it.
I'm going to be honest, I haven't seen a lot of gameplay of it. Because I haven't really been looking. It looks really cool.
It does.
With good graphics. But yeah, I really don't know whether I would recommend it, because there's some people who are just not into that.
Well, you know what? I've got Fraps finally, so we can start doing some of our Let's Plays, which are Let's Plays that we're considering we're probably going to end up doing, is that we're both going to do Left 4 Dead and Team Fortress 2 together, and then I separately shall be doing a League of Legends Let's Play, so you can watch me suffer through that. I'm a really bad League of Legends player, just a disclaimer.
Yeah, well, I'll play with you and you'll look better by comparison.
And then, so I may get FTL, and having never ever played it ever before, people can watch me fumble through that as well.
Well, those are fun. But, yeah, it's an indie game, and those are very hit or miss.
Exactly.
And it looks cool. It's pretty cheap. I mean, $10 on Steam, bet you're averaging. And if it has a soundtrack that they're willing to couple with it, then it'll probably be pretty good.
Yeah, probably. Who was it? Was it Gus Sorolla on the Rooster Teeth podcast? Was he the one that was saying that he's played it and he's enjoying it? Or was it Bernie Burns? Can't remember.
I don't know. I am 8 podcasts behind.
Oh, really? Wow. Well, I think one of them...
Well, not 8.
I could be
5 or 6.
totally and completely insane. But I think one of them was saying that they were playing it...
Well, we know you are, but you might also simply be misleading. Oh, something I completely forgot to talk about was Big Picture.
Big Picture.
Which is the new...
Explain, sir!
For Steam, which is the beta for the new Steam program. Basically, you can download this from the Steam store, and then turn it on, and it will fill your entire screen. And it's just this new form of Steam. I'm not quite sure how to explain it. It's basically like a web browser, and it has all your games, and you can go right to YouTube.
Nice.
And see all your friends, and it looks really different and very cool. I really like it.
Well, I'll look it up for the link dump and stuff.
Yeah, no, you definitely gotta get it, because it's really fun. They haven't perfected it, like I said, it's still in the beta. I'm guessing that once they get it figured out, it's going to be the new Steam just landscape, and they're going to completely transfer onto that. But so far, it's really fun. It's a little slow for me. It'll probably be faster once I get a mouse. I'm still just using the touchpad, but it's really fun.
Cool.
Right now, just to look at all of it. Just I turn it on, and then just the screen starts waving, and the little Steam icon pops up. And then it's like all blue. It's like one of the Halo menu screens, except you're looking at all your video games.
People can see it in the link dump.
Yeah, they can.
Oh, and also I discovered something else that's now on YouTube that I will be throwing in there. Is the When Itachi Loved Me. It's now on YouTube. We talked about it in our last podcast.
Oh yeah. I saw that. Oh my word. Yeah, I got back from SAC Anime, and I was like, can I find it? And then I looked for it, and I found it, and started crying again.
So for all you Naruto fans that are also enjoy crying a lot, it seems like a weird combination, I know. But click on the link that will be in the link dump for When Itachi Loved Me.
Yeah, I sent you that entire arc.
You did. I haven't gotten much of a chance to look at it yet, but you did send it to me.
Okay.
I received it.
You better look at it, because I downloaded all the chapters that were pertinent to it, and then edited out all the fan art and all the useless pages and labeled all of them and put them together so that it was useful and understandable, and spent a good 3 hours working on condensing it down into this perfect tragedy that it really is. And I want you to, if you're not going to really read it, I want you to at least try it and just.
I just have to have like time. Time is the issue.
You got time to edit a podcast.
Yeah, I guess. So, what did we talk about last time that we should talk about again?
I talked about Black Mesa.
Refresh my memory.
Which Black Mesa is the Half-Life mod.
Oh, yes.
A Half-Life fan-created mod that is completely reskinning every single object and reinventing the physics so that it's the original Half-Life game by Valve is up to date with their 2007 Source engine.
It's Half-Life 3,
and it plays really well.
But Valve didn't actually have to put out Half-Life 3 because apparently they have some kind of a serious problem with actually putting out Half-Life 3.
They have a serious problem with making a third anything in the world of Valve.
Team Fortress 2, Left 4 Dead 2, 3, all of the variations of Half-Life 2.
They have Half-Life 2 Episode 2. They don't want to move on.
They do not.
It's getting ridiculous. Portal 2, Dota 2, Counter-Strike. I think they've only made one Counter-Strike. Once they make a second Counter-Strike, they're not going to have anywhere else to go, and they're just going to they're just going to die out. Holy crap, roommates.
Yeah, they'll run out of all of their IP.
Yeah, exactly. And all they'll have is Steam, and that'll last them for about 3 years.
Will last them forever. There's
there's
just Counter-Strike. There's a bunch of different versions. There's Global Offensive, Source, Complete, Condition Zero.
Yeah, there was a time when Valve decided, you know what, we have this new Source engine, which was really basic. This was in 2001. We have this new Source engine. Let's update all of our games. So they updated Counter-Strike and Half-Life. And it basically did nothing, but they were proud of themselves and decided to just leave it at that until they made the new engine, and then they made Half-Life 2 and Team Fortress 2 and all that.
Well, honestly, actually, how much money are they making on Steam? Because I think a lot of the money's got to go to the publishers.
That's a good point. Well, I would guess it would be like Netflix, that they pay the publishers a certain amount of money just to have the game, and then they can alter the price of the game as they wish.
But that's just like a lot of retail stores. But the thing about Steam, the advantage of Steam is that you can access this anywhere, and it's anywhere, and it's often cheaper than retail stores.
Yeah, I really don't know how much they're actually making on it.
How do they make money?
They don't have a lot of the enormous titles like Old Republic or World of Warcraft, any of the MMORPGs.
Honestly and truthfully,
which you would think would give them.
They probably rake in the money on Left 4 Dead 2 and Portal 2 because those are two hugely popular games. They don't have to pay through a third party. Team Fortress they made free, so
yeah, but they are getting thousands of dollars on Team Fortress 2
through the man shop and all of the mods.
Exactly, they're getting thousands of dollars on that alone. I'm willing to bet that they're still getting a lot of stuff. Steam is slightly more enigmatic than Blizzard, which is already pretty enigmatic. We don't know exactly what they do there. Sometimes
well, there is, of course, the thing that when you sign up for Steam, a portal opens in your computer screen, and Gabe Newell's hand reaches out and steals your wallet. There is that.
Yeah, no, I did that, and so I need my Gabe. If you're listening, I need my debit card back. That's really important to me. Please return it. I would not be surprised if that happens, because Steam will suck up all your money. If you start getting excited, you're like, ooh, there's this game and this game.
I know.
Fear 3 and Resident Evil 8 and Dota 2 and Train
Mass
Simulator
Effect,
12,
and I could buy games for my computer that are also on my Xbox, but then on my computer I can get mods for them. And there's this, and there's
exactly.
this.
And people just get excited about it, and I certainly got excited about it, and I probably have 5 games on my Steam account that I am never going to play that that I just say, you know what, these are really fun, and I've seen them on the internet, and I can buy them on the internet right now.
That's how Star Trek Online ended up for me. But that was a bad game. Number one. Number two, it was free.
No, I watched Little Karibo's Merrick Plays Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines, and after about watching 7 of those, I had to say, you know what, this looks like a fun game, and it's only $5 on Steam. Why not buy it? So I bought it, and that's a waste of hard drive space and $5.
It actually,
well, not a waste. It's still a fun game.
Oh,
it's
is
a fun
it?
game.
I just looked at it, and I was just not interested at all. And that exact same thing that you said made you interested in it made me hate it for whatever reason.
No, it's fun. I just suck at it, and right now I'm at this point where everyone's trying to kill me, like police officers and random vampires, and even the hookers that I'm supposed to be okay with are trying to kill me. So I'm just like hiding in the sewers right now, and I'm afraid to go back in the game. That's basically what you do. If the police are out to get you, you just hide in the sewers, and then you wait until you think it's over, and then you come back up.
Yeah, part of the problem with it is it just the graphics just looked so bad that I couldn't stand staring at it unless I have some kind of like a nostalgic connection to bad graphic games. Then I just
actually it's really good graphics.
Or if they're intentionally bad, like
2007.
Borderlands or Team Fortress, they're cartoony.
It's not really actually. The graphics are not that cartoony. LK scaled it down a lot so that he could run it on his computer.
Oh, that would be one problem.
But the graphics are actually the graphics are actually really high, and I was sincerely impressed by it.
I'm really high,
and dude, that's the only way you can get through these recordings. Were you into now airplane glue?
No, just the usual, just the little bit of LSD. I'm a classic kind of guy like that. Just go back to the classic LSD.
You really would. I would not be surprised. Well, no, I guess I kind of would be, but not too much. I'm trying to think. We talked about Wolverine a little bit last time.
Oh yeah, we mentioned it. The new Wolverine coming out. X-Men.
You have a poster or something
with this ridiculously ripped Wolverine. I think that movie series should try to make Hugh Jackman look buffer. I don't think he looks buff enough.
You don't think so?
Could you sense the sarcasm there? Because I meant it.
Hugh Jackman. Why is the second option when I type in Hugh Jackman is Hugh Jackman gay?
Because did you hear? Do you know what one of his first jobs was in stage?
No, what?
He played this I heard an interview with him. It was kind of funny. He played this amazingly gay dude on stage. And so, number one, he's in a stage production, which probably a lot of actors that do stage are gay anyways. And so he's playing this incredibly gay dude on top of it. And so everybody thought he was gay because of that.
Gotcha. That makes sense.
But he's like married and has got kids and stuff like that, so...
Yeah.
Either he's an amazing pretender or he's straight.
Yeah, the Wolverine film. I don't recognize any of the names.
Yeah, I didn't either.
That are attached to this.
I looked it up on IMDb, didn't recognize anybody.
Which is kind of disappointing, except for the fact that they're all supposed to be Japanese, which is okay. Which is more okay. Because I really don't know that many Japanese.
They could be just famous Japanese actors or actresses.
Yeah, let me look. I want to look it up on IMDb, see if there's any production. Holy cow. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so this poster you're talking about is the one on IMDb?
Yeah, where he is
that
ridiculously...
just has Hugh Jackman with his shirt off.
Yeah. It really looks like he's on steroids, honestly. Like he's in the middle of some roid rage.
He's looking the muscly old.
Yeah. He's starting to look less and less kind of like... Back to the subject that we were on, Vin Diesel and those guys, those younger buff guys, and more Sylvester Stallone.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. No, he's only 43.
Oh, is he?
Well, yeah. Well, I say only, but he's still more mature for an action movie usually.
Unless you're Sylvester Stallone, and then you can be like 90 and do action movies, or however old he is.
Yeah. Do you see that Terry Crews Have you seen that Terry Crews Old Spice commercial? Where he's playing all these instruments by flexing his muscles?
No, I have not.
That's got to go in the linked up, and you've got to watch it.
I'm looking it up right now.
Dude, it's so funny. It's so hard. Especially the flame sax. Flame sax is funny. You watching?
I'm watching a montage of a lot of them. It's really weird.
Of a lot of what?
A lot of his commercials. This is like the third one that they're showing.
I don't know how old he is. I'll have to look that up.
I have no idea how old he is. He looks younger. But then again, he was in Expendables, which, unless you're that one dude who they literally created his character to die in Expendables 2. Spoiler, if that's really a spoiler, I saw him and he was like, well, he's gonna die!
I was really hoping he wouldn't, because I liked him just enough. He's Chris Hemsworth's little brother.
Oh, really? Cool. But anyways, unless you're that kid, you have to be old to be in that movie, pretty much.
Yeah. Terry Crews is 44 years old.
Oh, he's probably like the youngest one there.
Probably. I'm willing to bet.
Jason Statham may be younger.
Jason Statham's in it. Yeah. He's older than he looks.
I would imagine he's in his early 40s. He looks like he's in his 30s, but I would imagine he's probably in his early 40s.
He is 45. He is 45 years old.
Oh, he's older than I thought. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I said he was older than I thought he looked, and he turned out to be even older than I thought. He's looking good.
Yeah, Terry Crews is the youngest guy there. Outside of the
kid, yeah.
Chinese outside the Chinese woman.
Oh, her. Well, yeah.
Yunnan. You know, the one
almost
who didn't
doesn't
do
count, but yeah.
Okay, yeah, Liam Hemsworth is 22.
Honestly,
he's younger than Yunnan.
What did she do in that movie? She's like, she was like, Sylvester Stallone was like, hey, wait outside this door. If the other guy comes up, shoot him in the fucking face. He's just like, well, okay then. And that's pretty much all she did. She waited for something that we knew was not going to happen.
Yeah, no. She defused the bomb in the safe or whatever.
These are huge spoilers, but then again, it's Expendables. If you're watching Expendables for plot, you really should see a doctor about that.
Yeah. You want a good plot, watch Lord of the Rings. You want good character development. I don't know. I can't think of a good action movie that. Watch Batman Begins if you want good character development.
Oh yeah, that's a pretty good one. If you want good plot, watch Lucky Number 11.
Yeah, that's good plot. You want terrible helicopter animations, watch Expendables 2.
Oh, you want good character development?
Gosh,
watch Inglourious Bastards. That's got some good character development.
We did this in the second one. In our first recording, I haven't seen that one.
One thing that I heard an interview with Quentin Tarantino, and one thing about it, the only character who actually has no character development at all is Brad Pitt's, and he is the only character that really survives. It's like all of the other characters change and compromise and stuff like that. Brad Pitt's character pretty much stays the same from beginning to end, and he's pretty much the only one that survives.
Yeah, that's weird because he's the poster boy for that movie. His face is always on that film, so I figured he was pretty big. So that's interesting that he's, I guess, not important or whatever.
No, he's important. I would say
not important. It doesn't get that much development.
I would imagine that the Nazi colonel and both him. There's kind of three main characters: a young Jewish girl, a Nazi colonel, or I think he's a colonel, and Brad Pitt. And yeah, even the side characters though will compromise and stuff like that. And everybody dies in that film. Just to let you know, that's not a huge spoiler, I don't think.
Probably not. It's Quentin Tarantino.
It's Quentin Tarantino. So it's like, you know, if you've seen his stuff, everybody but like a couple people die, and those couple people go to a coffee shop and talk about it afterwards forever.
Taken 2 comes out next week, or Tooken.
Token
Token
2.
comes out next week. That is a sad excuse for a new movie.
It is. I honestly and truthfully think that they should not have called it Taken 2. I think that they just should have had another Liam Neeson movie with the exact same cast of Taken 2, but with a different title. Just like everybody that you loved from the last movie. Because the last movie was good. I don't think this one will be.
Yeah, no, it's clearly that they're milking it, and that is what I don't like about it. If they had a genuine plot, which so far it doesn't look like they do, then I would be impressed. But it looks like they're just saying, "Hey, you know what everyone liked? Taken. You know what they're gonna like more? Taken 2."
Exactly.
And then the whole board of executives all start high-fiving each other and giving each other hand jobs and stuff.
This is gonna make us money, even if we just piss on the series. The first one was good, but I think the problem with this one is that they're trying to go for like the Bond supervillain, but honestly and truthfully, the only people to do the Bond supervillain well is James Bond. Everybody else does. It's just kind of like they're just trying to catch up.
Yeah, well, there have been people who parody James Bond and actually do pretty well.
Well, like Austin Powers.
Yeah, and sometimes James Bond doesn't do the James Bond villain too.
Well, no. For example, your favorite Pierce Brosnan and my least favorite Pierce Brosnan. I think that is a horrible supervillain. That would be End of the Day.
No, he is not. He is not very good simply because he really does not do that much when it comes down to it. Basically, he gets the prototype Iron Man suit.
Which looks really dumb. That was another problem with it. The costume design was so stupid looking. It's like, what are you, a 1960s alien? This is stupid.
Yet, no, his recovered form, where he is like this European guy, that character is terrible. However, his original character, where he's this Korean son, and he has hovercrafts, and he has psychotic anger issues, and beats up his colonels, is awesome.
That's a great character. I think everybody would much rather see the movie with that character.
Yeah. No, they had to make him go over a waterfall. Yeah. Spoiler for the 9-year-old movie.
Yes.
Yeah, not a 10-year-old movie.
But it also happens. He goes over the waterfall in the first 5 minutes of the movie. I guess the whole thing where he's actually although they don't even try to make it seem like, oh, who is this guy? Who's this blonde dude? Because I'm pretty sure that like within the first like 2 scenes of his character existing, they explain who he is.
Not very well. They explain a little bit, and basically it's just given, hey, everyone likes this guy, he's a national icon, and he has something to do with diamonds. But it's not till it's about a half hour away from the end of the movie that they actually explain, hey, we've seen this guy before.
No, but it's when it's right after the scene where they tear up the fencing club, and he's there, and he's in the genetic machine, and Zhao comes up, and it's very obvious that Zhao is talking to Moon, and that's like the third scene that character is in or something.
Yeah, that's a good point. But what's worse is that they drive the point home, like when they're on the plane, it's like, father, and then there's like extended look over at the bust with the hat on it, and it's like, okay, now the audience will understand. No, we understood last year. We understood when the trailer came out that this is the same guy. I like it. It's for no other reason that I like the movie. I like the Vanquish. The Vanquish is an awesome Bond car.
Oh,
the car.
Yeah, it's one of the better ones, I guess.
Yeah. How about we just take out the last half hour of that movie? That's a good Bond. It
makes it so much better.
Yeah, it does.
It's like that movie ends like when they're at the airfield and they're about to snipe Moon, and then like a truck drives in front in between them and they have to get on the plane. It's like if they had just succeeded in sniping him, it's like his head explodes. It's like the movie's over. It's like that would have made such a better movie.
Yeah, actually, now that you say that, yeah, I kind of wish that had happened. But then we wouldn't have Ferraris falling out of planes. And James Bond sticking diamonds in Halle Berry's navel.
Or fencing and strategy obsessed bitches getting stabbed in the heart through Art of War books. That was a classic death. I will give the last half hour that. That was a good death for a Bond henchman. Bond girl.
I did like that fight scene. However, there's this very distinct scene where Frost and Jinx are fighting, and it's like a single shot for a really long time, and then Jinx jumps away, and then it pans out to a fixed shot where Jinx is doing a back handspring, and it's just so obvious that they clearly cut it so that they could use a stunt woman for Halle Berry instead of actually Halle Berry. It's very obvious.
Well, I didn't like that fight scene just because it was way too over the top. But I did there was one thing. If Bond does anything well, it is they have appropriate deaths for villains and their henchmen. And that was demonstrated. Sometimes they don't. Sometimes they don't.
That is why I like that Bond film, because it was the first time I'd ever seen that ironic death where Zhao, whose face is embedded with diamonds, they drop a diamond chandelier on him. Die Another Day was my first Bond film.
Mine was Timothy Dalton's. Honestly and truthfully, mine was the super dark Timothy Dalton one. I was so young that a lot of it is repressed, and I don't remember a lot. I've seen it again, so I remember the movie, but I didn't remember a lot of it. But
you don't remember your first reactions?
Yeah, I just remembered it's scaring the hell out of me because Timothy Dalton's second is dark as hell.
Yeah, no, is License to Kill. Yeah, I saw that when I was 14. And there's like some kid my age going through a cocaine grinder.
Yeah, there is. There's a teenager
Oh my gosh!
A teenager who is a slasher and a rapist going through a cocaine grinder.
Yeah, legs first, so like it takes them a while to die. And I'm like, whoa, my gosh, where did this come from?
Yeah, I was like 10 when I first saw that.
Then there's people getting eaten by sharks and shoved in decompression chambers.
But then the one that I remember is the other Timothy Dalton one. That's my really first one. But then that was very realistic for a Bond film. And then my first one that's kind of ridiculous.
Yeah. I mean, horses are as fast as planes all the time.
Okay. But I mean, they didn't have like a super eccentric villain. They didn't. The henchman was a very realistic, believable henchman. They had a kind of a believable plot. But the first over-the-top Bond that I saw was Goldfinger, which is why it's ridiculous as hell. But I kind of like Goldfinger, so I get why you like Die Another Day because of that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I respect Goldfinger because it was the first Bond film that is the Bond that we know and love today, with all the gadgets and the cars and the supervillain and the girl
and the henchman,
all that. Yeah,
and you gotta love Odd Job. I think, honestly and truthfully, Odd Job is the best part of that movie. This big dude who never says anything but can kick your ass.
Yeah. But the fact is, that hat violates the laws of physics. It violates.
Then there's the cars that go off of cliffs and in midair will explode, and planes that explode upon contact with water.
Yeah, exactly. Just there's so much wrong. That movie does a lot of things right, but it does even more things wrong, and that's why I don't like it. Die Another Day does a lot of things wrong, but I feel it does enough things right that it should still be appreciated. So
all I have to say about Die Another Day is CGI windsurfing on terrible CGI waves.
Yeah. Okay, every single critic. I've looked at the reviews for that when it first came out, and all the critics hated the CGI. And you know what? I'm not going to argue with that. The CGI sucks. I just saw it a few days ago, and I was watching that tidal wave, and I was weeping.
I love the CAA's philosophy. If at first you don't succeed, never try again, because they launch a ballistic missile at the at the satellite in the sky, and the missile takes like 5 minutes to get there, and the satellite slowly creeps over and shoots one missile, and they're like, well, let's not try that again. It's like, you idiots, why not try shooting 3 missiles? Or, like, when it is shooting at the DMZ, why not try shooting at it when it's already occupied?
Movie doesn't make a lot of sense. Well, a lot of movies don't make sense. Like Pride and Prejudice. You seen Pride and Prejudice?
I was forced to watch that when I was, like, my mother is a huge Pride and Prejudice fan. And I was forced to watch that when I was young.
Prejudice or Pride and Prejudice or Jane Austen fan?
Jane Austen. And I was forced to watch that when I was a kid. I was forced to watch like the A&E, the classic one with like Colin what's his butt, the famous British actor, who I now hate because of that movie.
James Marsden or whatever. I think that was Marsden. Marsden's in one of them. He's either Darcy in the Keira Knightley one, or he's Darcy in the original one.
The Darcy in the original one was Colin what's his butt, who plays the king in King's Speech. But anyways, I hate him just because of that.
Colin Firth.
Yes, Firth. I was forced to watch that when I was young, and it traumatized me. And I hate that now.
Nice. No, I watched it when I was like 15. I watched a lot of stuff then. And
I honestly might watch the Keira Knightley one, just because it has Donald Sutherland. I would watch the Keira Knightley one just because it has Donald Sutherland in it, and I love Donald Sutherland. Because, once again, I saw him as Hawkeye Pierce in MASH, and he's amazing in that role.
No, you would like his character in that movie. He's very good. Very funny. He plays the part very well.
I'm not certain how he would be British, but I'm certain he would probably do a fine job as a British person.
What are you talking about? He looks British. Isn't he British in that? Doesn't he play a British character in Hunger Games?
I don't know. I saw accent? He has like in Hunger Games he has like 2 scenes and he talks in kind of a low whisper in both of them. I was so disappointed by that. It's like, you have freaking Donald Sutherland. Use the hell out of him. I never read the books, so I would not be offended if they totally butchered the books and just used Donald Sutherland to no end.
Yeah. It's all
even if his character is barely in the book.
Yeah, it's like the new Hunger Games movie has nothing to do with Katniss. It's all about Donald Sutherland. Just
yes.
Yeah,
it's all about funny, but no, Donald Sutherland as Hitler, pretty much.
Yeah, yeah. But that's the thing with getting a big name actor. You have this big name actor, so you want to use him as much as possible. But you also have this big name actor, and they want money.
Exactly.
So it's really hard to. So probably with Donald Sutherland, they could probably only afford to use him in these 2 scenes and put the rest of their money into these CGI dogs that were totally inaccurate.
Oh my goodness! I was just looking at the IMDb for the next Hunger Games, which is called Catching Fire. By the way, just for all you people out there who are wondering, I hate the Hunger Games, but and Amanda Plummer, who is what's her name? I think Honeybun in Pulp Fiction. Mm-hmm. The girl in the couple at the beginning and end of Pulp Fiction. She's going to be in that. Mm. So I may watch it just because she's in it because I love Pulp Fiction.
Yeah. For those of you listening out there, I do not hate Hunger Games. I just hate PETA, and I hate the fact that Jennifer Lawrence looks better blonde than she does as a brunette, so I don't like watching her when she could be way hotter.
Oh my goodness, she does. Just looking at her IMDb, she's a lot hotter as a blonde.
Yes, seriously, she's way hotter. And I even showed that to my girlfriend, and she was like, "Wow, she is way hotter." And I said, "Oh no!" So yeah,
and I don't like Hunger Games
because she would be.
Because of all the plot holes, but that would take a whole nother podcast for me to go into all of the plot holes that are in the movie. I don't know about the book. Never read the book.
Yeah, apparently the book explains away all those plot holes, or at least makes sense of them. However, the fact is you don't want to get into them because the 3rd book is so incredibly disappointing to everyone.
Is it?
That you don't want to... not so much disappointing, but it did have to end in the 3rd book, apparently, and they just did not end it the way that everyone expected it to. It was as though they were on a deadline. and they just finally just boosh. Here's what happens, and you will be happy with it. It's like they were just tired of writing. It was like they were tired of writing
the Mass Effect 3 ending.
Exactly, dude. It's that Hunger Games is Mass Effect for fantasy people. That's it.
Is Hunger Games fantasy? I think it's science fiction.
Actually, yeah, because
it's science fiction with the air and feel of.
It does take place in the future. Yeah, it takes place in the future, and it's very technologically based in certain areas. So it's in a sense, it's a lot like the world of Firefly.
Yeah, okay.
Where the farther out you go, the less technologically advanced it is. But if you get right into the center, there's holograms and voice-activating controls.
Yeah, that
and,
makes sense.
iPads and stuff like that. Yeah. Isn't it weird how we go back in, to watch these old movies and we see people just with tablets and just pressing buttons on them, and now we look today and we're actually doing that now?
Mm-hmm.
That's so weird to me.
Like the Star Trek stuff where they had all these things that they had a cell phone. It's like in Star Trek, and it's like, oh, this is so futuristic, and now it's like, yeah, my smartphone does twice the amount that those cell phones did.
Yeah, but no, that was it. I was watching Star Trek Generations with some friends, and there were some people just manipulating this little piece of plastic that they were just putting in controls. And we were like, that's it. We are using that.
Yeah, we can use that.
It was just so weird.
That technology
We have Star Trek technology.
Well, I just discovered something kind of interesting on the Hunger Games IMDb, and maybe somebody could explain this to me in the comments. Gale Hawthorne, in the character, was the one at the very end who got eaten by the dogs, correct?
No, Gale was the guy that Katniss kind of likes at the beginning. The one.
Oh, okay, never mind then, because he's credited in IMDb, and I'm like, wait a minute, didn't he die?
No, but hey, you want to know something weird? He was in Expendables 2.
Really?
He's the kid. Yep, he's the kid.
Oh yeah, he is. Holy crap!
Yep, that's really cool. I found that out. I was like, oh my gosh! So yeah, that's cool. So yeah, he's going to introduce Jennifer Lawrence to Chris Hemsworth, and they are going to have beautiful babies.
Indeed.
The sexiest blonde babies you will ever see.
Yeah, he's going to be... Yeah, what do you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What are the odds of that?
Philip Seymour
I just
Hoffman
remembered that right when you said it. Oh yeah, I saw that. I don't know what he's going to do.
I don't know what he's going to do either. Yeah, well, I don't
He's going to be evil. He's going to be evil. Yeah, that's a prerequisite. He's like, hey, Philip Seymour Hoffman, can you be in this movie for us? Do I get to be the good guy? You get to be the guy who kills everyone except the hero.
Indeed.
Fine. And that disappointment sets him in the mood to be angry. So he's very good at what he does.
See, what has he been in?
Nothing to be done about that.
He's been in quite a bit.
He was in Mission Impossible 3. Yeah, Mission Impossible 3 is the one that everyone recognizes.
Yeah, he was in Moneyball apparently. I haven't seen that. But now I'm looking at the best villains article on IMDb. Let's see who's on here. Voldemort, of course. Jack Nicholson in The Shining.
Well, actually, speaking of interviews and changing pants, I'm going to need to change my pants to put on some slacks. That sounded weird. Because I have a job interview with Boston Market.
What is Boston Market? Explain.
You've never heard of Boston?
I have not, and there are probably some people on the internet who have not.
Okay, yeah, that's true. Actually, I don't know if I would get in trouble for this or not. I can't imagine why I would. It's a restaurant sort of thing. It's kind of like Fresh Choice, where it's kind of a buffet, and you just say, hey, I would like some of this, and I would like some meatloaf, and mashed potatoes, and gravy, and corn on the cob, and some steak, and they just get all this together for you, and apple dumplings, and lots of great stuff, and they put it in little styrofoam containers for you, and you can eat it there or leave, and the way it's actually a really generic sort of restaurant, but the way they make it and the sort of stuff they have is actually pretty special. So it's really cool. And I had an interview with Olive Garden a few weeks ago, still waiting to hear back from them. And I just got a call yesterday that said, "Hey, you still looking for a job?" And I said, "Well, yes, I am."
Is the Pope Catholic?
So there's that, because, yeah. So until we start getting sponsored for this podcast, which, is going to happen, I don't know, tomorrow.
Totally.
We're that awesome.
We should get sponsored by Steam, because we're going to be doing
we should totally get sponsored by Steam.
We're going to be doing 2 games that are Valve games, and then probably most of the games that aren't Valve games we will be playing on Steam.
Yeah, no.
Unless it's like League of Legends.
Yeah, no, we should be getting at least $10 each. At least $10 each. Just from the prestige that we have on the internet from our Nameless podcast, which actually is what I want this to be called, the Nameless podcast. I thought that would be cool.
Okay. It has been inceptionized.
Yeah. Whoa. No dreams for me.
By the way, this list, the best villains on IMDb, look it up. It is amazing. I'm definitely putting it in the link dump. I totally agree with it. These are so good.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Does it have lots of obscure people, too?
It's got a lot of classic people. Hugo Weaving, Christopher Lee, Vader, a lot of Tarantino villains.
Mm-hmm. No, that's probably the way you like it. Okay, Darth Vader's number 1. I like
Gladiator, Joaquin Phoenix in Gladiator, Daniel Day-Lewis in Gangs of New York. They got this.
Mm-hmm.
They're right.
Nice. Yeah.
The Terminator, just in general.
Now I'm looking at one, and it's
Alan Rickman in Die Hard, definitely.
The one I'm looking at is showing the actors. Not the characters. Is that okay? Yeah.
Yeah, it's showing the actors and their characters, because Kevin Spacey's been on here twice for 2 different characters.
Okay. I'm gonna
Tom Hardy.
Joe Pesci for Goodfellas.
Tom Hardy should be on here like 3 or 4 times for Bane, and
there's 2 different Terminators. There's Hugo Weaving.
Pacino specifically for Devil's Advocate, which is another amazing movie.
For anyone who's unintelligent enough to understand, we're not in the same place together while recording this.
No, we are. I am in a place known as Walla Walla, Washington, and he is in a place known as Sacramento.
Walla Walla, Washington.
Yes.
Walla Washington.
Lucy Liu and Kill Bill.
What the? Laurie Metcalf for Toy Story? What? The heck did she do?
Or Alan Rickman. It's like they could just put on there Alan Rickman, Kevin Spacey, and like some of the other classic villains, and just have it covered. Jack Nicholson.
Yeah.
Hey, look, Jack Nicholson again. Hey, look, Jack Nicholson again. I think he's probably got the record so far. I think he's been on here 5 times. Hey, okay, I have to complain about something very, very quickly. Philip Seymour Hoffman in Doubt. He was not the villain in that movie. Fear was the villain in that movie. Paranoia was the villain in that movie.
In what? Oh,
Doubt.
yeah.
He was not the villain.
Nice. Yeah, that's a good point. I might be looking at a different list than you are. So,
yeah, this one's naming characters and actors that have played those characters, because it does have the Terminator and the Predator in general, but it's also like
I didn't see Predator on there at all.
But it's also like obviously, I mean, there's certain villains that were made by the actors that played them. Yeah, this is a great list.
Is
I'm definitely putting it in the link dump. No, they don't have any cartoons. I'm a little disappointed that they don't, because I honestly think that Mark Hamill's Joker should be on here.
Yeah, Mark Hamill's Joker is. I'm sorry, but I like Mark Hamill's Joker. I feel that Mark Hamill's Joker is a more powerful Joker than Heath Ledger's Joker.
You are going to get destroyed in the comments for that, but I see what you mean. I get where you're coming from.
Look, if for no other reason than simply being more consistent.
They also have Ed Harris.
More timeless.
Ed Harris in The Truman Show.
I mean,
I don't know that he was the villain in that, but okay. Clive Owen and Inside Man, definitely. Although, once again, I don't think he was the villain in that.
Yeah. Okay, if Ed Harris isn't the villain in The Truman Show, he's the villain in National Treasure 2, and he did that pretty well.
He was the best part of National Treasure 2. I hate National Treasure 2. I'm gonna go out there. I'm gonna be that guy. I'm gonna be a hater there.
No, it's okay. It's okay. I didn't like it too much either. It's just
I had not actually tallied, but I think Bob De Niro, probably Denzel Washington, Ed Harris, Jack Nicholson. I think they're probably leading this list. Kevin Spacey, maybe. I just realized
Robert De Niro's
Bill himself in Kill Bill. I don't think is on this list.
In the list I was looking at, I saw David Carradine has Bill in Kill Bill 1 and 2.
Okay. They've had some other people from Quentin Tarantino movies, and they had Lucy Liu from the first Kill Bill.
Nice.
But
how could Lucy Liu be a better villain than freaking Shikari Akiyami? That sounds really racist. Than the crazy schoolgirl.
Pure screen time and dialogue.
Oh, yeah, good point.
But other than that, she does. I will agree. And honestly and truthfully, Shakira Akiyami, her part, she just has all she has to do is stand there and look crazy, and she has it down. She just looks so insane.
Who, Lucy?
Both of them. They just, I mean, they don't even have to open their mouths. Just the way, probably from the combination that they were practicing for their facial expressions, for the makeup, the costumes. They just look they breed insanity. Michael Douglas for Wall Street, yeah.
So, I would be filling up the airtime, but I'm chewing on some honey roasted peanuts.
Lovely.
I'm very professional.
Indeed.
Anyways, finish the Cell Saga. I talked a little bit about it in the original recording. Pretty good. Still more proof that Gohan is the strongest character in the entire series.
I am a huge Vegeta fan, my friend.
Dude, I'm actually, because I'm an idiot, I'm getting into the Boo Saga. And Vegeta just completely dominates everyone in that series so far in like the first 6 episodes.
They should have a best villains, but then go into cartoons, like in American and anime cartoons.
I mean, he's fighting getting back to Vegeta, he's fighting Pui Pui on whatever his home planet is, and he's like, "We're on 5 times gravity." 5 times gravity? Maybe if you'd say it to 500 times gravity, you might have an advantage. But 5 times gravity? I don't even feel it. It's just like, oh my gosh! Yeah, Vegeta is very cool. Yeah, Piccolo finally has lost traction because he has no more room to advance.
Yeah, Saiyans have like infinite room to advance because they get more powerful every time they die.
Yeah, and Namekians have room to advance because they can keep fusing over and over and over. But because Piccolo fused with Nell, got awesome. Then Piccolo fused with Kami and got awesome. But now he's not fusing with anyone anymore. So he's just trailing behind everyone. Even not as much as Krillin. There's a point where Krillin starts growing his hair out, and at about that point, his hair develops more than his power level does. So
it's Krillin.
Yeah, because all the characters in every shonen, the longer your hair is, the more powerful you become. That is so true. It's not even a joke. Krillin is trying to disguise the fact that he has a low power level by actually growing hair.
Well,
it's not working.
It's true in Avatar, I guess,
turned
too.
to stone by Dabara. Right at the beginning of the Boo Saga, And then right after that, so does Piccolo. They're just out of the series right now. They're not even important at this point.
Well,
It's kind of sad.
you're not an Avatar fan, but for the people who are, and for people who are curious about it, in Avatar, the Avatar, the Aang, the main, they now have a spin-off called Korra's, Korra or whatever, and she's the new Avatar. But Aang, there's one part where he ends up in a coma, and like it's the bridge between season 2 and 3, kind of. And when he wakes up, he has super long hair, and he kind of grows out his hair. And while he's doing that, he's learning firebending. Actually, wait.
Oh, wow.
If I remember right, he actually learns firebending after that, after he shaves his head. I don't remember exactly, but yeah.
That would be so cool. I'm not super impressed by Aang because he's like super immature because he's like still a kid or whatever, even though he's like 1,000 years old. But if he could learn firebending while in a coma, that just raised his boss level.
No, he learns it after.
I mean,
the
I know. Okay. Because I know he does all this crazy stuff. I've watched him like lift
honestly and truthfully, I believe that I may get killed in the comments for this, but I believe that Aang and Sokka are the 2 weakest characters in the show, and they are almost the 2 title characters. Sokka's sister is bigger than Sokka, I think. But yeah, those 2 characters. I just do not like those 2 characters. Everyone else is a very, if not likable, good character, because it's hard. It's like Azula, you love to hate her.
Now, I'm going to be honest and say I've seen nothing of Avatar outside of a couple of AMVs and the Abridged series.
Well, the Azula is a classic kind of evil goth girl, evil goth cunt, to put it nicely. Well, I actually need to get going to eat a meal, but
all right, sounds good.
Well,
talk about you're going to Comic Con.
Yeah, so, I know it's a long ways away, but Emerald City Comic Con is happening, and I and my girlfriend, who is Misty Fire, pretty much on everything, like Misty Fire, some variation of Misty Fire, and we'll be there dressed as Harley Quinn and Scarecrow, a very unique variation of Harley Quinn and Scarecrow, but yes, we shall be there.
Yeah, I hope to see pictures.
We shall.
Yeah. We need to make a Facebook page for our podcast. That'd be fun.
We should. But yes, this podcast will be on YouTube. It may be on Blip. I don't know yet. It will be on it'll be links to it on the Rooster Teeth website. And yeah, we should make a Facebook page for it.
Yeah, I'll see what I can do about that. Okay, so this is the first episode of presumably the Nameless podcast.
The Nameless podcast. At least we update more often than Team 4 Stars podcast.
There we go.
All we have to do is 5.
Rooster Teeth.
We just have to do 5 times, and we will have beat Team 4 Star.
Yeah, there we go. All right.
Goodbye, Internet.
Bye.